Are you a student? Am I late? Are you ready? Just think about how many times a day you ask or, want to ask simple everyday questions exactly like these. When you're first learning English, it can be incredibly frustrating to know how to state a fact, but then feel completely stuck when you actually need to ask for information. You kind of just end up trapped in this statement mode. Well, today, we're going to fix that. We are going to unlock the other side of the conversation. This explainer is your absolute key to confidently asking the most fundamental questions in the English language.
So welcome to today's explainer. I am so thrilled to have you here with us. Now, if you've been following along with our grammar materials, you already know how to make positive sentences using the verb be. You know how to confidently say I am, she is, and they are. But today, our goal is to take that exact knowledge and just completely flip it. We're going to master the words am, is, and are so you can start asking questions effortlessly without even breaking a sweat. Here is our roadmap for today. First, 1. The golden rule. Second, 2. Who is who. Third, 3. Short and sweet answers. Fourth, 4. Asking about real life. Fifth, 5. Common mistakes to avoid. And finally, 6. Practice and quiz time.
Okay, Section 1, the golden rule.
Okay, let's dive right into this, because this is the core building block of our entire lesson today. If you grasp this one simple concept, I promise you the rest of the puzzle just falls right into place. Let's start with a basic statement. You are a student. Notice the order there? The subject comes first, then the verb are. Now, to turn this into a question, we perform what I like to playfully call the verb flip. We literally just take the verb are and we move it to the very front, right before the subject. Instantly, you are a student transforms into are you a student? It's this super satisfying physical, structural change. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
So, whenever you want to ask a question with this verb, you just follow this core formula. The verb be comes first, followed by the subject, and then the rest of your sentence. Be plus subject. It really is that simple. Am I correct? See what I did there? I literally just used the formula in real time. Am is the verb, I is the subject. Boom, question asked.
Moving right along to Section 2, who is who.
Now that we've got our golden rule locked in, we need to make sure we're matching our verbs correctly depending on exactly who or what we're talking about. Think about all your standard statements for every pronoun. I am late, you are happy, he is a teacher, we are ready. And this brilliantly illustrates how uniform our new rule is. To ask the question, it becomes, am I late? Are you happy? Is he a teacher? Are we ready? Notice how across the board, the only thing that changes is the position of the verb. The actual vocabulary stays exactly the same. It's just a matter of rearranging the furniture.
Let's break these down into little groups to really build our confidence. First up, using am I. We use this one when we need to ask about ourselves. For example, am I late? Or maybe, am I speaking too fast? Now, you might be thinking, well, I'm not going to ask about myself very often. But actually, this is an incredibly useful troubleshooting tool for everyday conversations, especially when you're navigating a brand new language or a totally unfamiliar environment.
Next up, we have our singular category. We use is when we're talking about he, she, it, or really any single person or single thing. For instance, is John at work? Or is the weather nice? Basically, whenever you are pointing your curiosity at one specific individual or one specific object that isn't you, is absolutely going to be your go-to starting word.
And finally, we round out our pronoun groups with the are umbrella. We use are for you, we, they, and all plural nouns. So things like, are you busy? Are they from Canada? Or are the children in the garden? The takeaway here, if there's more than one person or thing involved, or if you're talking directly to someone using you will always kick off your question with are.
Next, we have Section 3, short and sweet answers.
Now, what's really interesting here is that asking a question is honestly only half the battle. We also need to know how to answer them efficiently, right? In English, we have this wonderful conversational cheat code, the short answer. When someone asks you a be-verb question, they're usually just looking for a really simple yes or no. And the trick here is that you simply repeat the correct form of be in your response. Are you a student? Yes, I am. Or no, I'm not. Is Emma a teacher? Yes, she is. Are they at home? No, they aren't. See? It keeps the conversation flowing rapidly and naturally without having to repeat the whole long sentence.
All right, let's look at Section 4, asking about real life.
Let's pull this grammar right out of the theoretical textbook space and drop it into the real world for a second. Why does mastering this specific verb flip actually matter for your daily life? Well, because the be verb is pretty much the ultimate multi-tool for gathering real-world information. The versatility here is massive. You use it to check identity, like, are you David? To ask about jobs, are they engineers? To confirm nationality, is Emma British? To check in on someone's feelings, are you tired? And even to figure out location, is the library open? By mastering just 3 words, am, is, and are, you are literally unlocking the ability to navigate social interactions, travel, and basic daily logistics. It's a total game changer.
Moving on to Section 5, Common Mistakes to Avoid. Of course, whenever we're learning a new structure, there are always going to be a few traps along the way. But knowing what not to do is just as important as knowing what to do, right? It builds immense confidence. So here's our first common trap: mismatching the subject and the verb. If someone says, "Is they at school?" it sounds slightly off, doesn't it? That's because they is plural, but is only for singular subjects. We absolutely must always match plural subjects with plural verbs. So the correct phrasing is, for sure, are they at school? Always double check your matching.
And here is the second major trap people fall into. In a lot of languages, you can turn a statement into a question simply by raising your voice at the end, like, you are a student? But in written and proper spoken English, tone alone just isn't enough. We have to reiterate the golden rule. You must physically flip that verb to the front. Are you a student is the only structurally correct way to ask. Don't let your tone do all the heavy lifting.
And finally, Section 6, Practice and Quiz Time.
All right, we've covered the rules, the pronouns, the short answers, and the pitfalls. It's time to test those shiny new skills and make this a bit more interactive. Are you ready? Here is your first challenge. Blank, you a teacher. Which verb correctly fills in that blank? A, is, B, are, or C, am. I'll give you a brief second to solve the puzzle yourself. Think about the subject.
And the answer is B, are. Because the subject is you, we've got to use are. So the full question is, are you a teacher? Great job if you nailed that one right out of the gate. Okay, let's hit you with a second rapid-fire question. Blank Emma at home. A, is, B, are, or C, am. Look very closely at the subject this time. It's Emma. Boom! The answer is A, is. Because Emma is one person, a singular subject, we use is. Is Emma at home? Excellent work. So the crucial point here is that by just identifying the subject first, your verb choice becomes completely automatic. Let's concisely summarize our core takeaways from today's explainer. First, always remember the golden rule formula. Move the verb be to the front, followed immediately by your subject. Second, use the conversational cheat code of short answers to reply quickly with yes or no plus the matching verb. And third, consistent practice is the absolute secret to feeling confident in everyday conversations. You've totally got this. To keep this awesome momentum going, I have a little homework for you. Try changing the statement, "they are at school," into a question. Got it? Now, what would the short answers be for both a yes and a no? You see, the true power of language isn't just in making statements, it's in the curiosity of asking questions and genuinely connecting with the world around you. Once you master this simple flip, you're going to be completely ready for our next big step, how to form negative statements. Until then, what questions will you ask the world today?